Oh my goodness. Okay, we got to do this again. We got to start over. We got to start over, you guys. This is crazy. One more time. For the record books. Are we good? Can you guys hear me now? I hope so. I think we're good though right now. One more time. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live here for this July 22nd. Today's Tuesday. I hope you're enjoying your day so far, everybody. It's a sunny day here in Philadelphia. I've said this already, but again, for the microphone. Sunny day here in Philadelphia. It's been really nice. I got outside the other day to play some basketball because it's been so nice. Pulled both calf muscles. I don't know how that happens. I mean, I'm getting older, of course. I prepared. I stretched. I did calisthenics before I went out. Drank water. I mean, I was ready. Still pulled muscles. I'm like, but I can't stop playing basketball. I love playing basketball. It helps me keep my wind up. I don't run a lot, so basketball helps with that whole thing. But I hope you guys are enjoying your day so far. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. Anything new out here? We're going to be talking about a few choice things here, but if you guys got anything new, definitely throw that in the chat. We're going to be talking about 3D print settings. That's going to be a thing today. We're going to talk about Gemini winning the gold at the Olympics. Not the normal Olympics. We're talking about the mathematical Olympiad, but still, it wins the gold at the Olympics. And we also got a new product from Terminal. Yeah, sort of. So that's some exciting stuff. How about what is this called? Laboobies? Laboobos. I said laboobies. My bad, chat. My bad. Laboobos. You guys got your laboobos? I hope you do. I hope you got your laboobos out there. How's it going to the people in the chat already? We got Aaron already in the chat. We got Parmesan in the chat. I appreciate you guys. And we also got Alex in the chat this morning. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Let's get the air horns going for you. But laboobos, that's a big thing. The craze is hitting Philly now. So I figured I needed to mention it. I wasn't going to mention this at all. The pop culture phenomenons that happen with these little attachable dolls you just clip onto your belt loop. I mean, I feel like those have been a thing for a very long time, but these laboobos are catching on like wildfire. So yeah, if you're interested in such things, check them out. Get yours before the price skyrockets. Maybe it's already half. Let's get the applause going for the crew here. For the people that are in the chat here, and also for the crew that's watching this in the replay. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you are considering being a member if you're not. Consider joining the channel if you're not. Consider joining the Discord if you're not a member of the Discord. The link is in the description, so check that out. A good way to continue the conversations we have here on the live after the live is done, if that's something you want to do. Also, keep in mind that during this show, there's going to be sections where you will be able to give your input, like you can call in, as it were. And our call-in section of the show is basically Discord. Our events section of the Discord has a way for you to join a chat and raise your hand, letting me know that you'd like to say something, and then we can have your comment live here on the show, whether that's feedback, whether that's a story that you'd like to put us onto that we're not talking about, or just something you just like to put out there. It'll be here for you in the Discord. So link in the description for all of that stuff. Do feel free to check that out. All right, what else we got here? Let's go ahead and start with the tech news for today, shall we? Actually, no. We got to get to the happies. Today's happies are Malaysia celebrates Sarawak Independence Day in Malaysia. So I said Sarawak. I practiced that hard, but I still got it wrong when it was time. I'm getting better. President's Day in Botswana, and also Revolution Day in Gambia. So those are holidays. No domestic holidays today, which I thought was very weird. Literally no domestic holidays at all. What else we got here? Now let's get on to the tech story, shall we? All right, so the first thing we're going to be talking about here as far as tech goes is AI from Google and OpenAI. So basically when I was talking about Google winning the gold at the Olympics, this is what I meant. Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Let's pull that up. All right, so Gemini DeepThink learns math and wins gold medal at the International Math Olympiad. So this is something that took place. Where are we at here? They don't say what country they're in for this. So I'm going to assume it's domestic. I didn't look up the wheres for that. But they use DeepThink for this particular exercise. And of notable mention is the fact that they solve the problems, or they, meaning Gemini, solve the math problems in a simpler manner than most of the human competitors. And when I say in a simpler manner, I just mean they use more simple formulas. They use more simple tactics, nothing really complicated or intricate. And their chain of thought kind of bore this out when they went to go see what it was thinking when it was solving the problems. Some might call it more elegant solutions, because simple to me is elegant. Simplicity is elegance. OpenAI also officially got gold in this particular Olympiad. It's an unofficial gold, though, because they weren't scored by the same measure that Google Gemini had their scores. So Google worked closely with the International Mathematical Olympiad. They worked closely with that group to get them to actually grade the AI's responses, right? So OpenAI chose to go a different route. They didn't have that particular group who was holding the Olympiad grade their AI, which is the ChatGPT. They had an independent source verify and grade ChatGPT on the Olympiad, on its Olympiad performance. So that's a kind of a disadvantage there, or there's a chasm there in the validity of those results, because Google has valid results scored by the same people that are holding the event. OpenAI results were scored by independent sources. So it's I mean, no one knows what metric they use to score, but they say they got a gold in the same test that Gemini got a gold in, as far as OpenAI is concerned. Again, I feel like if you were confident in what you were doing, you wouldn't need independent verification. You would get the same people who are holding the event to score you, right? It would be like going to the Olympics and Simone Biles being like, "Nah, I don't want the judges here to score me. I got a crew back home. I got some judges at my high school gym. They gonna judge me. They gonna score me, okay? And then we're gonna run with that score." That's how I feel about this. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's go to the chat real quick. Good morning, Aaron. Owen Knight, glad you could join us. We should make AI engines play Civ and Age of Empires against each other, just to see what would happen. That would be interesting. That would be super interesting. AI plays a lot of video games. They have AI doing a lot of video game playing, and creating video games for that matter. I can't wait to see AI NPCs in video games. You know what I mean? Like, you guys ever played a video game and you have to talk to an NPC and it's just the same, like, few lines of text, right? I mean, some games get really in depth with it, right? Like Skyrim. Why did I sing about Skyrim? Elder Scroll gets it right, how they do their sequencing for dialogue in their games, right? Lots of varied dialogue. It depends on how you interact with the person, what dialogue you actually get. That's a unique way to handle it. But I can't wait for a day when AI starts handling NPCs and NPC dialogue, where you get varied dialogue based on what's actually happening and how you're responding to things, not a predetermined set of text. I think that would be really, really interesting. All right. Next thing we got up here is Cash App settlement. So it looks like, let me get over here. So it looks like, oh, that's the wrong one. I was supposed to change the order of that. There we go. Cash App settlement. $2.5 million Cash App text class action settlement. So basically what this is, residents of Washington State, this just applies to Washington State residents, who used the Cash App from November 14th, 2019 until the present day, they qualify for getting a payout from this particular settlement. The settlement's essentially been won already, and they're paying people out. So the payouts are ranging from $88 to $147. Yeah, I thought this was very interesting because it applied to such a small group of people in Washington. I'm still trying to figure out why it only applies to those people in Washington State. I do know it has to do with they violated consumer protection laws associated with soliciting and marketing. I guess a lot of these people were getting texts that they didn't sign up for, or they weren't a part of the Cash App like ecosystem, but they are getting messages from the service. And I'm not sure why that violates terms. Yeah, it seems like simple advertising to me, but I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into the story to find out why why the settlement was needed in the first place. They kind of like touched on a little bit of the settlement in this particular article, but they didn't go into the details of why it just applied to. Actually, they did get into the details. I didn't understand those particular details, and I'm looking at it here. So I'm gonna have to go and try to understand a little bit more about the law associated with what law we got here. The law associated with unsanctioned. That's not unsanctioned. Unsolicited marketing messages. And I thought they were just ads, but apparently unsolicited marketing coming from apps as far as text messages go, that's a clear violation of consumer protections, and I'm not sure how that violates consumer protections because I get ads all the time, and what makes that different from the ads the people in Washington were seeing. So that's what I'm trying to figure out with this particular story. We'll update this particular story. Next, we got earbuds during human interaction. So this particular story was interesting because I read this or saw this on the Wall Street Journal. And they were talking about how it's commonplace for people to have earbuds in while they're talking now. I've always seen that as rude, and a lot of other people, I think, do as well. Like when I go into a grocery store or a convenience store, I take my earbuds out when I'm at the register conversing with the cashier or the attendant or whatever, just out of respect, so they know that they have my attention, right? Even when I'm I guess when I'm in a conversation with friends or something like that, I may keep my earbuds in. I mean, they know me, and if they think I'm disrespecting them, they're my friends. Who cares? But yeah, so I wouldn't want anyone who doesn't know me to feel that way. So I take them out when I'm dealing with people who I don't know, or if I'm in a new situation. How do you guys feel about that? Earbuds in your ear or in someone's ear while you're talking with them, or earbuds in your ear while you're talking. Is that a thing? Do you care about that? Like, is that socially unacceptable? Is it still considered, what word am I looking for? Faux pas? Oh boy. Oh, now I gotta, now I gotta look up faux pas. Oh no, that's not what I meant. Oh no, that's definitely not what I meant. Let's disregard that. 86, that comment, chat. But I feel like it's becoming more commonplace, and according to this particular study that I saw, can we pull this up here? Oh yeah, there we go. According to this particular article, that's becoming not commonplace, a super commonplace, and I'm not sure when that happened or why. And they're speaking mainly about AirPods here, which I thought was odd. Like, why are AirPods singled out as being acceptable and no other earbud is considered to be acceptable to have in while you're talking? I don't get it. I know AirPods do well over here domestically. Around the world, maybe not, but I know I know domestically AirPods do really well. Let's go to the chat. People keep saying that AI will never be able to think creatively, but I really think that point is coming sooner than we think. Owen, I believe that. I agree with that as well. Why would you think it's rude? It's no different to a cochlear implant. What is that? I never even heard of that. Or your AR glasses, in my opinion. True. The difference is the AR glasses. There's nothing protruding. There's nothing clogging your ear with the AR glasses, right? So this is one of the reasons I like Meta glasses is that it's open ear. So I can still hear things around me, even though music is coming from it. I mean, that's not noise canceling, and a lot of people like noise canceling. But if you're doing something where you need to be cognizant of what's happening around you, open ear is the way to go. And if you're doing what I do with these, well, I do a lot with these, but one of the main purposes of me using the Meta Raybans is one-wheel riding. It keeps bugs out of my eye. Like when you're going 30 miles an hour on a backwoods trail, like you're gonna get mosquitoes, insects, flies, gnats, all those things. And and I can't tell you how many times I've gotten bugs in my eye where I have to stop what I'm doing, get the bug wing out of my eye or something. Like, anyway, I realized that glasses are an integral part of doing some outdoor activity. These help tremendously with that. Also, something that I didn't think about when I started using the Meta Ray-Bans is that they keep wind out of your eye. I didn't realize how much wind affected me. Wind affects me so much when I'm riding that the wind will start to make my eyes tear up, and it's hard to see. So it gets crazy. The Rock, how's it going? Good morning, man. Let's get the air horns going for The Rock out here. Appreciate you joining. We're talking about are AirPods acceptable in your ear to be talking in public? Is that rude? I've always thought it was rude because I didn't know whether someone was paying attention or not. It's like, I mean, if you don't want to pay attention to me when I'm talking, that's fine. I mean, no problem. But I still feel like it's rude. It's just rude. So I would take mine out. But apparently it's becoming, like I said, way more common. So that's a thing we're dealing with here. Cochlear implants are for hearing. I don't think AirPods should be frowned upon, given that they're actually rated as hearing aids now. Yes, and that's one of the points I was going to get to here. And very good timing on that, Owen. A lot of people use AirPods, especially the AirPod Pro 2s, which are FDA approved as hearing aids now. So that's one of the reasons why you see them and people will have them in and they stay in. Now, that's just one very small percentage of people, but that is a very good point. And I just think that that's the way we're going here. Like I said, when I'm around my family or friends, I don't take mine out. They're just in. Which lets me know for myself, at least, that I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it. It's just the perception for other people that I feel like other people feel like it's wrong, so I take mine out. I don't want anyone to think I'm not listening to them when I probably should be. Even if I am, the perception, right? The perception can throw some people off. What do we got here? I wrote some notes down on that. One of the comments they made on this particular article is that there's no such thing as multitasking. So a lot of people are like, oh, I can listen to this and talk at the same time or whatever, right? You're multitasking, right? But this article made a point to point out that there is no such thing as multitasking for humans. Your computer, yes, it can do two things at the same exact time. Humans cannot. All we're doing is task switching really quickly. Like nothing is getting, like when you're multitasking, nothing is getting your full attention. You're just switching between tasks really quickly, so it feels like you might be multitasking, and it may even look like you are. But as far as your brain is concerned, you're just switching tasks really quickly. And some do that better than others, right? That's a skill that some people can do that better. The next thing we got up here is a few quick hits. So we're going to go through these really quickly. YouTube Music now has a music playback sync feature, which I didn't even know that YouTube didn't have a playback sync feature. Did we know that, Chad? I didn't know they didn't have a playback sync, like where you can be listening to a song on your phone, go to your tablet, and pick up from the same spot you were at. Now, does that matter with a 4 or 5 minute song? Who cares? That's probably why I never noticed it. But if you're listening to a soundtrack that's 3 hours long, or you're listening to like a lot of what I listen to a lot of the time when I'm researching and playing Wii Sports, I listen to lo-fi. So I got Lo-Fi Girl tuned up on YouTube all the time. And so if I wanted to keep my place when I'm listening to lo-fi, because the lo-fi playlists are like 4 or 5 hours long, and to know where I was and left off at would be supremely good. So at least I know I'm not listening to the same stuff over and over again. I can just pick up where I left off instead of starting it from the beginning, which is what I normally would do. Owen says there is absolutely a such thing as multitasking. Well, scientifically, there isn't. As far as your brain is concerned, you're not multitasking, and they've done the science. There's research to prove that you're just switching tasks really quickly. You're not doing anything at the same time. Now, as far as how it feels to you, that's totally subjective. It can feel however it wants to you. But as far as the science is concerned, They say that it's not. Hearing aid application is new, so might not apply yet. I think it does. She uses her AirPods as hearing aids right now, so I think this applies. I think those are things. I think that aspect applies right now. Generally, yeah, I think it's a little rude. Same as how cashiers might not service someone on the phone. Exactly, and that's why I don't deal with the headphones when and when I was in retail, I literally would not deal with people if they were on their phone. Like a person would come complain to me about something one of the staff did, right? And I'm like, and they're on their phone while they're talking to me. I literally walk away. I would literally just walk away. Like, why am I giving you my full attention for something you want to complain to me about? And you're not even giving me your full attention. You don't care enough about your complaint to give me your full attention. Then I don't care about your complaint. I would literally walk away from people who were talking on their phone and trying to talk to me at the same time. I don't care. And it wasn't a rude thing. It was just like, I know that you can't have this conversation with that person and talk to me and give me the information I need for your complaint if you're on the phone. That's just, I don't know. Hearing aid, Duroc says, meaning in the discussion of if AirPods are seen as rude. Most people don't know yet that the AirPods are big. Oh, I see. Yep, absolutely, Duroc. Very good point. Most people don't know that that's an application yet. Like mainstream, like you guys know because you're in the know with tech. But a lot of people aren't that know, and that didn't even sound right. Where am I going with this? A lot of people aren't that into tech information, so they probably won't know that you can use AirPods in that way and that other people use them that way. Very good point. There's a good Freakonomics on how multitasking isn't as effective as we think it is. Yeah, and there's lots of research that says multitasking isn't even a thing. Like I'll get some data for tomorrow's show, and we'll go over some stats on multitasking, because the stats bear out the fact that our brain handles multitasking by switching between tasks. That's how our brain handles it. Some people are very good at it. Some people can task switch very quickly and more efficiently than some other people. But it's still doing two different things separately and not doing either one very well, mind you. You do very well or way better on tasks when you're giving it your full focus. Someone reboot Rod, he's stuck on words. It happens. Not very often, but happens. All right, let's get on to the next story here. Smart goggles. It's clearly a thing. And when I say smart goggles, I mean smart swim goggles. So I didn't even know that was a thing. That would be super interesting. Like think about that. The goggles could, you don't have to look at your watch, your diving watch, to tell you what depth you're at, what the water temperature is, alerts. You know what I mean? All that could just appear right there. I don't think I would want to swim any other way if I had that. As a matter of fact, I don't want to swim any other way now, even though I don't have that. That's the way to go. Like divers, forget the Apple Watch. You need AR goggles, bro. You need AR goggles. What else we got? ChatGPT users spend 2.5 billion or send 2.5 billion prompts per day. Wow, that's incredible. I use ChatGPT sparingly. I'm a Gemini dude. I like Gemini. I like the interface. I like how it acts. I'm on Gemini until somebody else shows me something different. But this is super interesting. Yeah, 2.5 billion. Incredible number. YouTube wipes out thousands of propaganda accounts. So this is YouTube purging propaganda accounts from state-run entities. So people spreading disinformation, things like that. So they're on the prowl for those. And it was over, what we got? I think they said like 11,000 channels. I'm like, dang, there were that many. But when I see propaganda, I have a soft spot for propaganda, right? I don't like propaganda as in the Well, I guess it depends on what it is, actually. But I love old school World War I and II propaganda. I don't know why. The art there's an art to good propaganda. There really is. And when I see it, I instantly know what it is, and I instantly know what era it's from. And I love it. I don't know why. Like I don't want propaganda in my world, but I like looking at it. I don't I don't know why, but I do. Owen says you could pair that kind of technology with what Dexcom is developing, where you get into when you get info on your blood sugar, blood oxygen, health stats, etc. Exactly. This is gonna be good. And like I said, I've always thought since I've had the Meta Ray-Bans that glasses are the way to handle AI. It's the most efficient way to handle AI and information, way better than the watches are, in my opinion. Except, well, I'm about to say except for when you go to type something, but your watches are so small that even if you could type on it, you wouldn't want to. Like I bought a Fitbit that I could type on at one point. No, the Apple Watch. When I was an Apple Watch owner, you could type on that thing. I never wanted to do that. It worked really well too. It was okay. But I never wanted to do it because you had to be too deliberate with it. And it's like, I don't want to be that deliberate with what I'm saying right now. I want to get my message out. Matter of fact, the best way to send a message on the Apple Watch is just to raise your wrist and start talking. There's a gesture to where you raise your wrist and it recognizes you want to talk. And you just start sending your message that way. I love that. That's the best way to send messages, in my opinion. Unless you're in a library or if you got a secret you don't want everyone to hear. Or if it's too loud and it can't hear. All right, there's situations where it won't work. All right, let's get on to the next thing here. What do we got? I already got that. Galaxy Z Fold outsells Galaxy Z Flip for first time. And that surprised me. That surprised me because I'm thinking to myself, Galaxy Z Fold, that's the way to go. A foldable phone. I didn't even know the flips were popular. So that totally surprised me. Like why though? Why are the flips popular? More popular than the fold. Like, out of the people here right now, do any of you guys have foldables? And if you do, or if matter of fact, even if you don't, if you would like to buy a foldable, or if a foldable is in your future, which foldable are you looking at? Are you looking at a flip type foldable that flips from a regular size candy bar phone to a really small form factor, or something that is a regular size that opens up into like a tablet size? Like, which one of those seem more appealing to you guys? I love my iPhone and Apple ecosystem, but I hate typing on a watch, and speech texting is a nightmare because Siri's just stupid. I forgot. Yeah, my bad, bro. My bad. Siri is just Siri needs help. Duroc says, I've had 3 flips. The form factor is so much nicer. Really? I never. Owen says flips are popular with women in particular. I could see that. Throwing it in your purse, it being really small. I could, or you got the skinny jeans on, you don't want a big phone and print in your back pocket the little. I totally get that. I totally get that. I kind of hate my Z Fold. You got the Fold? Wow. Okay, so but I am an iPhone user. Well, they're coming out with a foldable iPhone next year, Aaron. So keep your eyes open for that. Yeah, the Z Fold, the new Z Fold 7 looks good. All the reviews are in, and everyone seems to like that Z Fold. I'm still holding out for Google. I want the Pixel Fold. But I didn't want to buy the first one because of all the dust problems and the screen, like little particles of dust getting in the screen mechanism and breaking the screen. I'm like, I don't need that kind of problem. I can handle breaking a screen all by myself. I don't need help. Believe me, I don't need help. Owen says, so my daily driver is an iPhone, but my work phone is a Google Fold. That's the one I'm looking for. And that'll probably change when Apple releases a foldable. I wear fairly skinny jeans, and the flip fits perfect, like a smaller Game Boy SP. Oh, Game Boy SP. That brings back memories, bro. I'm a skinny jean wearer too, so maybe I should check it out. I enjoy my skinnies, but I don't mind the big phone in the front pocket. Matter of fact, I like that look. But the flip would be more comfortable. It definitely would be more comfortable. What else we got here? Meta Oakleys are better than Raybans, the Meta Raybans. But guess what? I don't give a crap. I don't care. I really do not care. Okay, I don't. Okay, I'm doing the Bigfoot from Howard Stern here. I really do not care at all. I bought Meta Ray-Bans because I got a pair of Ray-Bans already. I like Ray-Bans. Clearly, if I were to buy a pair of glasses, they would have been the Ray-Bans. Hence, I did buy a pair of sunglasses, and they're Ray-Bans. So it was a no-brainer when these came out, and they didn't even have to be really good, although they are. They didn't even have to be really good. They just had to be competent. Give me some level of video and picture taking. Some level. Although it's pretty good too. Give me some stability. It ain't gotta be good. It ain't gotta be flow state stability like the Insta360s, but something. You know what I mean? I'll take pixel level stability, okay? I'll take pixel level stability. So when people are like, oh, but the Oakleys are so much better, I don't care. I really do not care. They look like trash. Let's look at them. Let's look at them. I literally do. Oh boy. I literally look at that. Who cares? Like, okay, it has a better camera, but if I don't want to wear it, what good is it having a better camera do me? What good is the battery life if I don't even want to put them on my face? What good is any of that? They're not like, okay, they're not terrible. Okay, they're not trash. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is they don't look as good as these. They don't look as good as and if Oakleys looked as good as Ray-Bans, I would have bought a pair of Oakleys a long time ago. Now I get it. If you're an Oakley wearer, you buy Oakleys already, cool. This is your jam. I don't want to yuck your yum, even though I am. This is what you want to do here. The Oakleys. You get better camera, longer battery life. That's it. I mean, I'm sorry. Better camera and battery life, and there's something else that they have. Oh boy, I forgot what it was already. I forgot what it was already. No, that's it. That's it. That's it. Better battery life and better camera. Now, the Oakleys 3K recording versus 1080p. You know what I mean? You got a 1080p over here. But listen, this is 1080p. This right here is 1080p. It looks really good. It's 60 frames a second though, so it's got an advantage. But one more thing. That's what I just remembered, the frames per second. So one more advantage that the Oakleys has over the Metas is the fact that they can record 3K, right? 3K video versus the 1080p. Better battery life. But the only thing that matters to me, I can do 1080p. And if you're not doing 4K, who cares? Like 3K, that's a sacrifice, bro. You might as well still be doing 1080. Who cares? You haven't hit that 4K mark. But I do care about the 120 frames a second. Why do I care about the 120 frames a second that the Meta Oakleys can do that the Meta Ray-Bans can't? The Meta Ray-Bans can only do 30 frames a second. These things do 120 frames per second. The slow-mo must be magical. Oh, then again, it's only 3K. It ain't 4K 120. Matter of fact, the slow-mo is not even 3K. What is the slow-mo? The slow-mo is not even 3K. What is the slow-mo here? Let's look at the slow-mo. Okay, so the slow-mo was, so here we go. So the 120 frames a second is just at 720p. So less than 1080p. So basically trash. No one would want to even look at it. So yeah, who cares? No, you know what? I don't even care about the 120p anymore. No one cares. No one cares. Okay. So 3K versus 1080p. Who cares? The only thing that really matters is the battery life. The sound is the same in here. They got 2 speakers, same decibels, same 5 mic array. We're looking at the metas right now. Yep. Same decibels, same 5 mic array, and the same 2 open ear Bluetooth speakers. Okay, so they have the same sound. Everything is the same spec-wise, like I said, except that video resolution. What about the camera resolution? Nope. 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Guarantee it's the same for the Oakleys. Yep, 12 megapixel ultra-wide. Well, the 100-degree field of view might be... Yeah, the 100 and... They were supposed to go into some details at the bottom here, but I don't see that. I'm not going to take time to look for it. But, yeah, so I'm not impressed. So the Oakleys are better than the Meta Raybans, but I don't care. I don't care. In no way that it matters are they better, in my opinion, other than the battery life. Going from 4 hours to 8 hours, yeah. And I would imagine that gives you better live stream capability, too. Because the Meta Raybans can only do 30 minutes of live stream. And I've had my bouts with running out of battery life when I'm doing an actual live stream with the Meta Raybans. So to get an hour of stream time would be nice. Even if it does come at the cost of style. And that's it. Your boy don't care. I don't care. What else we got here? Tesla Diner. Last tech store we got here. Let's go ahead and check it out. So Tesla recently opened a diner. Let's look at this here. And this is the way it looks. It looks like an old school diner, right? Same kind of look and feel as the old school diners with the industrial metal outside look. I love it. I love it. Now I thought, why would they do a diner? And then I thought, this makes perfect sense. You can go there and charge your car, supercharge your car. Like if you have an EV, you can supercharge your car. And what do you have to do when you're charging your car? You have to sit and wait somewhere. What better way to sit and wait? Grab a bite, watch a movie, check out some entertainment. This is a gold mine. Like, this is a legit gold mine. Like, people should copy this. Like, people who are like buying gas stations, aka charging stations for EVs, they all should be like this. If you want to make some money, like it could be like a truck stop, but for charging. I don't know. I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. They opened yesterday. So Monday. This is yesterday's news. They opened yesterday at 4:20. Typical Elon with the 4:20. Like I said, it's a supercharged station with food, movies, and entertainment. Let's go ahead and check out a short little fly through of this particular thing here. Let me get my headphones on. I know. One day I'll have these headphones ready. Like, you're doing a live show, have the headphones. Okay, here we go. All right, let's check out this video, you guys. Well, let's start this over. All right. There we go. Oh, that was cool how she hurried the bullet boy along. Reminds me of the old days. What would have been cooler is if they did the FPV drone fly through. They should have hired those dudes. They should have hired those dudes, man. Let's go to the chat before we do this. I didn't even stop with the. I need to check the chat between stories here. All right. Owen says, men in skinny jeans is a level of progressiveness I'm just not ready for, man. Listen, I've been wearing skinnies since the inception. You know what? No, I'm lying. I used to wear really baggy jeans back in the day. Back in my high school, that was a thing back in the day. To wear oversized jeans, oversized shirts, everything was big, except for the shoes. You wear everything big. Now, I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to wear nothing big. Oh, I'm not trying to wear nothing big. Aaron says, Oakleys are trash. I agree. Thank you for saying that. I didn't want to be the person who says that. Oakley needs to do better. 100% BM. Thanks for joining, BM. I appreciate you being here. And how's your day going? The Rock says, click on the headshot for each. Can't tell if it looks bad. Oh. Did you see him? I'll go back to those if you didn't see him there, The Rock. Tesla is one doing the copying. I own a Tesla. The best charger stops are next to a resto. For real. Needs to be fast serviced. Charging is 10 to 15 minutes on a road trip. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. So are you digging this, The Rock? Would you do this diner thing? Elon says he's going to bring these to more places if this does well. I guarantee somebody else is going to pick this idea up and start building them. Owen says people who buy Teslas are so irredeemable. Elon could get away with charging $70 for a quarter pounder with cheese too, and they probably are. I like Teslas though. I don't own one. Actually, if I were to get an EV, but you know what? I obsessed over Teslas for a long time until Elon ruined Teslas for me. When he got into politics, that killed my Tesla motivation. I still like the cars. I was big on Teslas back before Elon took over the company. That's how far back me and Tesla go. Like I was big on Teslas long before Elon took over from the founders, which was a shiesty, dirty move, and I should have just jumped ship from then. But I still like Teslas for a long time. My thing now is Rivians. I want a Rivian SUV or a Rivian truck. You throw all my one wheels in the back and hit some trails on a Rivian. It would be great. It'll be great. But I can't do Tesla now because of Elon. It's just that diner reminds me of Dusk Till Dawn. Oh my, Dusk Till Dawn was an awesome that was an awesome movie. That's probably the best vampire movie ever made. The Rock says the diner is more of a marketing thing. It's in DTLA. These need to be along the expressway. Oh, it's downtown LA. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's trying to build hype for it right now, so I understand him going with an LA, a well-populated section of LA to build the first one because you want to build up brand. But he certainly needs to get these on expressways. That's where it's going to do the most good. Don't get an EV, brother. Just move into my guest house with the missus. We'll get you set up. I have no alliances for Teslas as a company. They just have the best tech and the infrastructure currently. Absolutely. I'm happily jump if the competitor can match. Teslas they're so well integrated right now. It's to the point to where Tesla has all right, so Tesla has a good charging network, right? The best charging network. It's so good, in fact, that the government is like, we want to make a plan to where all the other EV companies can use your charging situation. And they're asking them, and they're giving Tesla, the government's giving Tesla money to build out that infrastructure even more because they've done such a good job. So yeah, Tesla, awesome cars, awesome infrastructure, with the exception of the Cybertruck. I don't know what the frick is going on with that thing. I don't even care. I don't even care. But I was big into Tesla. Now I want a Rivian. And the only reason is not because of the cars, not because of the technology. It's just because of Elon. I can separate Elon from Teslas. I can't. Because my thing is, I'm not putting $1 in Elon's pocket. I can't stand that dude. I don't know why I know why I don't like him. He's a shiesty deal maker. Like I didn't like Elon before he got into politics, but I could still, like you said, Aaron, I could still separate the guy from the technology, even though I didn't like him. Like I was still obsessed over Teslas for a long time. But after his run through politics and the fact that I don't like him as a person, I can't even put $1 in his pocket at this point. I'd feel bad doing that. All right, and that's it. That's all the tech stories. Let's jump off into some eInk chat, shall we? All right, so as far as eInk goes today, there's not a lot of eInk. Like you can make eInk news, right? But as far as actual eInk news goes, Seed Studios. Let's go ahead and check this out. Can we get into here? Yeah, we can. All right, so we got Seed Studios. is collaborating with TRNML, the company who makes the terminal display that we talk about on the show a lot. They collaborated with TRNML to make another essentially eInk display. So basically what this is a 7.5 inch DIY kit from Seed Studios. Let's take a look at the specs though that we got here. All right, so the TRNML 7.5 inch DIY kit is $45 eInk display, so it's not too expensive. For hobbyists with various features, it includes a 7.5 inch eInk display, ESP32-S3 board, a 2,000 milliamp hour battery, and offers integration with Home Assistant, and also offers integration with Arduino and a lot of the terminal. It fits right into the terminal ecosystem of software, so you can use it using terminals. What do they call that? Let's go down here and take a look. There we go. Terminal BYOD ecosystem, which unlocks over 375 plugins and 8 layouts for no-code dashboard building, which is essentially what we have with the terminal. So I thought this was interesting because it's bigger than the terminal. It has terminal support and terminals helping with the development of this particular thing. I like it. I like the way it looks better than the terminal display. I'm not gonna hold you. This looks really nice compared to the terminal. Let's take a look at the terminal. So this is terminal's device right here. Not bad, right? Generic looking, but this looks cool. This is cool right here. I like that a lot. Especially the panda one they got at the bottom there. Oh, I love me some black and white. The panda, there you go. That's the way to go. But yeah, so I thought this was super interesting. Another eInk display on the market. I may try to take a look at this. We'll see. It offers a lot of functionality, especially Arduino support, which I think is incredible for people who like to code. You're going to be able to do a lot of customization with this thing. All right, what do we got in the chat here? I would struggle to see a Tesla here in the EU countries, and there are no Tesla-owned charging points. They never get away with it. What's the prevailing brand for EUs and for electric vehicles, EVs in the EU, Owen? Aaron says, if you knew the truth about a lot of these CEOs, you would hate a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know the truth, and ignorance is bliss. Because if I did, you're right. You know what? You know what my thing is? This is how devout I am, Aaron. This is how solidified in my beliefs and understanding of things is when it comes to me. I will suffer for the things I believe in. I will suffer for the things that I get behind, right? Like, case in point, me becoming a vegetarian was a moral reason. Like, I morally made a decision that I wasn't going to eat any animal that I didn't kill myself. Like, if I wanted to eat some meat, I thought to myself, go kill something. Like, if I'm not tough enough to go and kill whatever it is, then I probably I shouldn't be tough enough to eat it. You know what I mean? And you know what? Let me just say this. I was online playing a video game one time. And just for anybody who thinks like this, let me just put this out there. I was online playing a video game one time. One of the most horrendous online video games you could play. It's got the most toxic community I've ever seen. The game's called Mortal Online 2. The most toxic community I've ever seen in my life. Not just toxic, just I don't know. It's infuriating. But anyway, I was talking to a guy. Now, I was hanging with some people, some friends of mine, and playing this game. We're on Discord talking to each other, right? And it comes out that I'm a vegetarian, right? Now, I don't go around bragging about me being a vegetarian because there's nothing to brag about. I don't take special pride in that. That's not. And I think that's what people think when they hear it. They're like, oh, he thinks he's better than me because he's a vegetarian. No, I don't. Matter of fact, your life is way better than mine. You're getting some joy out of the stuff you're eating. I'm not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I suffer to be a vegetarian. I would love a steak. I mean, not anymore, because at this point in my vegetarianism, I don't even know what a steak tastes like. It just looks nasty to me now. Like, so I wouldn't want that. But back when I was first starting, being a vegetarian was not a cakewalk. There were sacrifices to be made. Like, so people were living better lives than me, eating the food they wanted to eat, when I was just sacrificing and eating the things that I could eat, feeling the way I felt about eating meat, right? And this is not for everybody. And I'm not saying people who eat meat bad. And if you're vegetarian, you're good. I don't care what people do. Do what you like. I don't care. I did what I liked. Stopped eating meat. It's as simple as it gets. But this guy I was online with was like, oh, I didn't claw my way to the top of the food chain to eat vegetables. Like, what? Like, bro, you couldn't claw your way to the top of a food chain if you had a claw, and you don't. Like, I'll finish this. Let's go to the chat, and I'll finish this up here in a second. The Rock says, yeah, you're right. He looks net good on balance. Not good on balance. Net good on balance. Wait, okay. There's way more than that. Name a CEO and I'll show you a shyster. Most are just not as loud as Elon. But see, that's the thing. Like the CEO who just got caught with the HR lady. Who cared about that before they saw him getting caught? No one cared. No one thought about it. He wasn't even on anyone's radar. But we know things like that happen. He could have been a good guy for all I know before that happened. I mean, he probably was and still is a good guy. I mean, that doesn't mean he's a piece of crap. I mean, he could be a piece of crap because he was at the... Never mind. I'll take that back. But the point I'm trying to make here is that there's something bad about everybody, right? But when you're somebody who puts yourself out there in the public, and then you show everybody, you take away all doubt that you're a piece of crap, then I have to judge you, right? Because you're putting that I'm a piece of crap out into the universe. I have to judge you then. I have to make decisions then. If you're a piece of crap, but you never came out and said and showed the world that you're a piece of crap, if you're a piece of crap just in your community, no one cares. Okay, it's only when people outside your community see that you're a piece of crap that the wider world starts to care, because you're showing people and you're putting yourself out there. Yeah, so that's the way I feel about it. Yeah, probably most CEOs are shiesty, but as long as they're not dangling it in my face, like, I'm a piece of crap. Is there anything you can do about it? Yeah, I cannot buy one of your cars. I cannot do that. Even though I want one, you're a piece of crap. I won't buy your car because you're a piece of crap. It means nothing to you because Elon has billions of people buying his cars, but it means something to me that I'm not spending my hard-earned money on something supporting someone who I feel like is a piece of crap. That's my thing. like today, if everybody found out like I was like a piece of crap, like, I don't know, I did the most vile things that humans can do to other humans, I don't think anyone would be watching this. It's hard to separate the people from the art. Like R. Kelly. I can't listen to R. Kelly anymore. You know how bad I want to hear Step in the Name of Love when I'm at a barbecue? Back in the day, that's what you did. You barbecued, played Step in the Name of Love. But now, no one plays Step in the Name of Love at a barbecue no more. I don't even know what happens at barbecues with songs like. So, I mean, it affects people. Elon has affected me to no return. I cannot support Elon in anything. I consider not using PayPal because of Elon. EU largely, we do hybrids. Volkswagen, Toyota, BMW are largely the ones I see. Okay, cool. Hybrids to me are a good compromise. BET, we're going hunting, Rod. Bet, oh no doubt. I would, if I shot and killed a cow and chopped it up, I would eat it. Did you hear? like Google's in my ear telling me what would happen if I did something. I don't remember even asking Google. I don't think I asked you anything, bro. But that's the thing. If I did kill it, I'd eat it. I'd feel decent about eating it then, because I did something. Like I don't know. That's my own retarded brain. Like I'm not I'm not right up here, and that's the way I feel about it. Just saying, it's incredibly difficult to be an activist just by not buying something, because it's really hard to find good companies anymore. I believe that. I believe that too, DeRock. It is very hard. And I don't consider myself an activist. I just consider myself selective. Yeah, I'm definitely not an activist, because I don't do protests. You know what I mean? I'm not picketing. You know what I'm saying? I take a hard stance on something, and I might make that hard stance known. But beyond that, that's as far as I go. Owen says, I don't use PayPal, but it's just because they're a crappy company. Yeah, it's just, and Elon, it has Elon's hands all over that too. So it's like what do you do? Like, what do you do? Tesla is huge in Norway. Are they? All right. And that was, well, I mean, I guess it wasn't it. What do we got here? I think we got Resin 3D printers next. Oh no. Gotta get on my soapbox about Remarkable needing stroke erase. Remarkable, please, dude. Can we just demonstrate? Remarkable, please. Get stroke erase. If I want to get rid of this Y right here, I shouldn't have to be like, just get the Y. The Y. I didn't get it all. Now I gotta get closer to the Y. Can we get down here? Now I gotta get that little bit that's close to the Y. Can I am I lucky enough? Am I special enough to get it? What just happened? Did the eraser just stop working? Yeah. Did the pen just stop working? Oh my God. Oh, all right. Remarkable is they're getting on my crap list. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some stuff that's making me wonder. Anyway, back to the trying to erase that one little thing for the display. Can I get that little? Can I get it without erasing the A? No. Now I erase the A just because I'm trying to erase the Y. Remarkable. Onyx brought site of selection tools before you brought stroke erase. What's going on? Remarkable, please. Stroke erase. Can we do it? Please. Thank you. All right, next. Supernote. Highlight function. Let's get it. I'm going to complain about these. I'm going to complain about these every live until something gets done about them. All right, Supernote. Ratta. Check it out. Can we get a feature that when you highlight something, like a highlight tags, can we get a feature that when I highlight this, a menu comes up and says, would you like to make this a keyword? Bam, keyword, recognize, bam, I'm done. Right now, to make a keyword, and right now, highlighting means nothing. It means, it's just a visual representation. That's cool. Like, oh, I want to bring special emphasis to tags. Okay, I'm going to highlight it. Fine. But every other tool in the Supernote ecosystem does something. The tool has a function, and then it has a graphical representation for that function. Keywords is the only thing that doesn't have a graphical representation for it. So let's go take a look at it. So let me circle this. We're going to circle tags. Now, I can make tags a keyword. Right now, I have to click keyword, make sure it understood what I was trying to write. It clearly didn't, but let's just say for the sake of this, it did. Now we have to add it to the list. Now it's added. Now we can go back to the note we were in. And even if we did all of that, we still would have no way of knowing that tags is a keyword. I mean, I highlighted it just now, just to drive home the point. But if I didn't, let's just take that away. Let's make this easy. But if we take away the highlight, we have no way of knowing that tags is a keyword. If I were to come to my note and say, okay, let's see, I want to make this a keyword, that a keyword, this a keyword. Well, I don't even know if I've already done that. Sure, I could go to my keywords. Sure, I could go to keywords and then search through them, right? Why? When everything else has some kind of graphical representation to show you what this is, why doesn't keywords have a graphical representation showing you what they are? I feel like if you highlight something, give us the option in the settings or somewhere, whether we want highlighting to indicate a keyword or if we just want highlighting to be stupid and dumb like it is now and just highlight stuff. We can do stupid and dumb highlights. That's okay with me. Everyone else does stupid and dumb highlights, but we can do smart highlights. Okay, let's start calling them, you know what? That's what I'm going to start calling them. I'm going to start calling them smart. Can we do smart highlights, Ratta? Can we bring smart highlights to the Supernote platform? I hope we can. I hope we can. All right. And that's it. Let's go on to some DIY maker stuff, shall we? Oh, before we do that, let's get to the chat, though. This is where Rod logs on tomorrow with blue hair and a septum piercing. Oh, no. Whew. You know how much that would hurt? Talk about the blue hair. You know what? I had gray hair in high school. I said gray hair. I got gray hair now. I had blonde hair in high school. Just to give you an idea, for me in high school, I wore earrings, both ears, when it wasn't fashionable. I had 2 earrings in at a time when dudes were only wearing the left earring. I thought, that's silly. I'm going to buy a pair of earrings to throw one away just to wear one in my left ear? Nah, bruh. And then I thought, I like symmetry. I'm not going to have an earring in one ear and not the other. I mean, I don't wear earrings anymore. But when I was in high school, I wore earrings. 2. I probably would wear earrings now if there was a special event going on. But that would require me to wear other jewelry. And I'm not a jewelry person. So, you know, I'd much rather wear a shark tooth around my neck than a Cuban link. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just me. All right, let's get to the 3D printing stuff. Actually, no. We need to get to the rest of this chat. I'm just saying it's incredibly difficult to be an act. Oh, now there we go. The Remarkable never have stroke erase, or did they recently remove it? Big miss. They never had stroke erase. Remarkable has never had stroke erase. And I'm like, why would you want people to painstakingly try to remove a letter that's close to another letter and then what is you don't even need regular erase. Regular erase is not needed on these devices. You only need stroke erase and select to erase. Those 2 things are all you need. Like the regular erase, trash. I don't think any tablet needs that. Remarkable's like, no, we're banking on this regular erase. That's going to be it. We're killing them with it. No, you're killing me, okay? And it's not in a good way. So my consulting firm is having a summit, and my boss said they like notes for us with your fancy Go 10.3. Said, hey, take notes for us with your fancy Go 10.3. With great power comes great responsibility, LOL. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's awesome, though, man. I'm glad your company's recognizing the awesomeness of eInk. I just can't wait till eInk is mainstream. We're going to get there, and people are going to be enamored with it like we are right now. And then we can say, oh, you're jumping on the bandwagon. We've been here for years. I just double tapped my Apple Pencil Pro, just saying, that is the way to go. I've been saying that for a long. As soon as Apple came out with the haptics and the being able to touch, to do gestures, that is the way to go. Owen, that Apple did it right. Damn the caps. Yeah, I'm all caps, bro. Oh no, not Supernote not being intuitive. Aaron, they are, but they aren't intuitive with that. The keywords, like everything has a graphical representation. If you make something, if you star something, you see the star there. It's a graphical representation. If you turn something into a header, there's a graphical representation for the headers. If you I think that's it. I think that's the only indexing tools you get. But there's 3 indexing tools that they give you: the keywords, the headers, and the starring system. And 2 of those 3 have a graphical representation letting you know what it is as soon as you see it. The third one, keywords, does not. They need to do something about that. And I have a perfect solution. The highlighter. Perfect. Dude, I think you could totally pull off being a RU RuPaul lookalike if you shaved. Is it because I said I wore earrings? Get over it. Guys wear earrings too. Look at the NBA. Some of the biggest dudes in the world. Earrings. Now, I don't feel any type of way about it. I don't wear earrings today just because I don't do jewelry. Like, I fell out of my jewelry obsession days when I was younger. So I don't do jewelry anymore. So the earrings had to go. But like I said, if someone were to give me a shark tooth necklace, I'd wear a shark tooth. If I got shark tooth earrings, would I wear them? Probably not. But the shark tooth necklace, I would definitely wear. All right, let's get on. So let's get on to this other part of the show, shall we? And this next thing we're going to talk about is just a maker section, DIY. I want to talk about some Resin 3D printing settings. All right, so what we're going to do is take a look at a drawing I made. Oh, can I pull up the drawing? Bam, there we go. Do I have 2 drawings here? No, just we do. We do have 2, but we're going to look at this one real quick. All right, so 3D resin printer settings. So if you're not into resin 3D printing, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you coming. If you're just joining me and you're into resin 3D printing, this is what we're about to talk about. All right. So, and also, if you're enjoying the content, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe. Let me do this. If you're enjoying the content, hit the like button. If you are not subscribed and you want more of this, hit the subscribe button. Definitely. And thank you for your viewership. All right. So, with this particular drawing here, I wanted to emphasize a couple of 3D settings that I stumbled upon and realized what they do on the Resin 3D printing during my last bout over the weekend and yesterday. So what we have here, can I get down a little bit more? There we go. That's good. All right. So what we have here is a drawing that I made of this thing. All right. So it's a drawing of the latest bumper that I'm doing for the Manta spine. So this is a bumper that I'm doing for the Manta spine here, and I think they came out really well. Like, I'm so happy with this. But at the edges here, we're going to talk about what the edges mean and why I had to adjust the settings for these edges and for the border that goes around this. All right. So that's what this drawing right here represents. The white part in the middle here is the top portion. Let's put this right here. So the white portion right here in the middle is just this band across the top, the middle of the top portion of this particular bumper. The light gray section beside the white portion is the angle. So that's the slope. That's basically this angle right here. And the dark gray section is a border that the printer puts around this particular print. So it ends up looking, if you want a side view, it ends up looking like this side view right here. So if you just take this particular thing and turn it on its side right here, that's what this drawing on the second drawing is. All right. So we're going to be looking at the edges here. So essentially turning it on its side, we still see the border that it's creating here. And I mean, this whole little swoop right here is a border that the printer puts around your print. Now, without that border, this is how the print would look. It would go from 0, it would just start a slope, right? It go from 0 and then start a slope at a particular angle. That's without a border. With the border, it makes it look like this. To get it to look like this, I would need to cut the border off, like right here, on both sides. I would need to cut the border off, and that would effectively would have me with this shape down here. If I cut the border off, that would effectively give me this shape right there. Are we tracking? Is everyone following that right here? I don't know why this border was created by the 3D printer, but they do create a border around any particular model that has angles. It'll create a border first, and then it'll start the gradual angle. I want the angle to just start right away, like what this drawing is showing me right here. So for my 3D prints, I don't need a border. Just start my angle, bro. Just start my angle, okay? Now, I had to tell the printer how to do that. So these are the settings that I had to change to go do that. So I had to change the bottom layer, and I had to change the transition layer. So let's take a look here at the next drawing we got. So this particular drawing here shows the bumper, right, in the middle, and then the outer circle is the border. Now, these are the settings. For the bottom layer had a setting of 5, so it would make 5 bottom layers. Then, after the bottom layer, it would also make a transition layer. And that transition layer is what this border is right here. It's saying, hey, how much space do you want in between the actual print and where the angle starts? Now, since I don't want a border before the angle starts, because like I showed you before, I want my angle to start immediately, just like it does in this drawing right here. I don't need it to have a little border and then start the angle, okay? So what I had to do was reduce these two settings right here. I had to reduce the bottom layer count, and I had to reduce the transition layer. So the bottom layer count, what it does is it reduces that transition layer by just simply not having as many layers at the bottom here. And if you reduce the number of bottom layers, you don't reduce that border, but you reduce the size of the border, okay? So that's the first thing I learned. You can reduce the number of bottom layers on your prints. And that would help you get rid of the border, right? But that's not the only thing you need to do. You also need to reduce the transition layer number, because that's the real problem here, giving the printer instructions to make a border before your transitions to an angle. So I had to take both of these settings and turn them down. So this is what I did. So for the initial print I just did it with the default settings. The bottom layer was set to 5, and the transition layer was set to 5. So what I did was I reduced the bottom layer to 2. At the time, I didn't know the transition layer played a part in this, so I only reduced the bottom layer. When I reduced the bottom layer, I realized that the border around the print also reduced. You can see here that the border around this drawing right here is much wider than the border here. So that reduced the border in my mind. So I thought, okay, cool. That reduced the border here, but I don't want to go below 2 on my bottom layer, because I don't want my bottom layer to be super thin. I'd rather have at least 2 bottom layers, okay? I may take that down to 1, but you need at least 1 bottom layer. So I didn't want to drop that below 2. So I started to think, okay, what else can I do to change that to get this border to be smaller or non-existent, like I need it to be in this drawing right here, like with no border. So what I did was I went through all the settings, and it turns out decreasing the transition layer from 5 to 2 reduced the border even more. Now, that turns out to be the setting I actually needed to adjust. I could have kept the bottom layer at 5 if I wanted to and just reduced the transition layer. But that would have left somewhat of a border around my print that I would have needed to contend with. So decreasing the bottom layer and the transition layer, if you have prints with angles and you have a border around where your angle should start, so instead of your angle starting, you get a border that starts. If you want to get rid of that, the way to do that is reducing the bottom layer and reducing the transition layer. That's going to give you no border around your prints. Now, I'm going to make some prints today reducing the transition layer to 0 because my last print had a transition layer of 1, and the border is reduced every time I reduce that transition layer. So I'm assuming once I get to 0, we should be fine. I didn't want to take anything to 0 because I feel like any setting that's at 0 that had a unit before or had a value before, you're messing something up. But we'll see. We'll see. It's worth the test. It is definitely worth the test. Whew, man, I think that's it. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? We're a little over. Oh, Mike is in the chat here. Mike brought up Freakonomics. Now, I bought the book Freakonomics. Man, we're talking 20 years ago now. Yeah, we talking about 20 years ago. I bought the Freakonomics book. A very good book. Now, I've never heard the podcast. I guess it's a Freakonomics podcast or radio network. I've never listened in, but the book is amazing. Brother, how's it going? What timing you have? Did you put me onto Freakonomics? I know I bought the Freakonomics book because someone put me onto it, and brother, I think that might have been you. Thanks for joining us. And by the way, good morning. I still have the PDF of the Freakonomics. So did you put me onto Freakonomics or did I put you onto Freakonomics? I can't remember how that happened. But I did end up reading the book, and it's very good. Very good, by the way. I must say myself. Very good read. Integral read, I might say. Oh, I put you onto it. Okay, so I don't remember who put me on the Freakonomics, but I was put on the Freakonomics about 20 years ago. And it's been very integral in my thought process. All right, and I think that is going to be the show for today, everybody. I think that's going to be it. I really appreciate it. If anybody has anything to say, though, again, I didn't even start it. Next time. I forgot to start the call-in section. My bad, chat. But I'm gonna keep pushing that because eventually someone's gonna call in and have something to say, and then it's gonna open the floodgates, and everybody's gonna have something to say. We loving it. Let's get this outro music going, you guys. All right, thanks for everyone for joining me. I really appreciate you being here today. Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock till kind of whenever. We're hoping to go for an hour, but it's 11:20, so hour and 20 minutes or so. We talked about a few things, so I appreciate everyone who stood around for the Resin 3D printing settings. It's a thing. I'm not transitioning from eInk to 3D printing, but we're adding 3D printing into the mix for sure. We're going to talk more about 3D printing later in the week. We're going to talk about some more Xtool stuff later in the week as well. I got some content planned up on updates for the Onyx Boox platform and updates to the Supernote platform. And I'm going to talk a little bit of crap about Remarkable because they deserve it. Like I've been using this every day for my live stream. I've learned some things. I might make a video like Kit does. I use this at work for the last 2 weeks. This is what I found. I'm gonna do a Kit video. We're channeling Kit here. All right, everybody. Thanks you for joining me. Joining me tomorrow if you have time. I appreciate everyone for coming. Thanks for all the engagement to the chat. Again, like if you liked. Subscribe if you want to see more. Join the Discord if you want to keep the conversation going with me and other people that are down there. And yeah, until next time, everybody. Take care. Whoa. I just saw RAF for prints. Look up RAF for resin prints. That's what you're trying to minimize. So we'll talk about this tomorrow with The Rock. We're going to talk about transition layers, and because the transition layer reduced that border for me. So you're saying RAFs would do the same thing? We'll find out. I'll play around with that as well. So thanks for the info, The Rock. All right, everybody. Till tomorrow.